I have an amazing Y2K thrift haul from a local estate sale, along with a very small yet very significant haul from a local thrift store that I went to yesterday. So these items have not been listed yet, and I resell on Depop, eBay, and Poshmark. My name is Anita. I am a part-time reseller. I cannot wait to show you these things. So the first thing, it was last weekend, and I have I think about 25 items, although 2 of them are still drying in the basement. They were all needed a good washing, but these items were $2 a piece, and I already sold one of the 2 pairs of shoes. It was a wild pair, super cute, green velvet kind of boho print. And so I'll put those up on the screen so that you can see they sold very quickly within 2 days on eBay for $30 plus shipping. So that was a really great quick sale. I had marked them a little bit higher than that, but I was happy within 2 days to get $30. So 2 into 30 is pretty great. And then all these finds over here, I have been really trying to do my research on Y2K, and you would think that I would know what Y2K is because I grew up in the 80s and 90s, and so Y2K happened when I was just finishing college. So I think I just needed some review. I needed some review on it, and maybe I just wasn't too into a lot of the things at that time. I don't know. We'll see if my suspicions are correct with these things being Y2K. I would love to hear from you in the comments. Did I hit the nail on the head with Y2K? And I'll talk about these things as I'm going through them, but let me know. Is Y2K the things that you're seeing here? Because I'll tell you what, I ended up selling a White House Black Market vintage short sleeve kind of dressy Y2K-ish top. Sold very, very quickly. I think it was on Poshmark for $30, like within a week. And I took that $2 thing to $30, and it was a vintage short sleeve shirt. Like, that blows my mind. And really, I find like the people now who are thrifting, they're not necessarily thrifting for name brand, they're thrifting for style. So that's kind of where I was going when I did this, when I got this haul. So let's start. And 2 of the dresses are drying downstairs. I will put them up towards the end so that you can see them, but they were just beautiful. Both like really cool, really cool. Anyway, okay. The first one is a long sleeve shirt. That's the brand name, which is not significant. What's significant is the style. So this is definitely one I could see girls wearing with like jeans, or even like wide leg black pants, something like that, but super cute. And to me, this said Y2K for sure. I think with the Y2K stuff, I didn't even, as I was looking through it, I'll be honest, I wasn't even like thinking this brand name is a good brand name. I was more like, this style is a good Y2K style. Okay, this one is not necessarily Y2K, however, and this is the brand name. It's definitely vintage, so we'll call it vintage. How about that? This is definitely a vintage dress. I have to measure for the style, but it's like a halter style, goes around the neck, and it drapes in the front, and it's like this shimmery pewter iridescent maxi dress. It probably is a little fitted, but not super fitted, and so it's got a huge slit. It's definitely a very, very slinky, sexy dress. I could totally see somebody wearing this to a nice formal event, maybe even a prom or a homecoming. And since homecoming, it is September 13th when I am filming this. So probably homecomings will be coming to an end for most schools right now if they haven't already. So that will probably, I'll still put homecoming as like a theme word in eBay, or in Poshmark, I will put homecoming as like a tag word. So, but prom, formal events, things like that. And to be honest with you, some of these I have no idea what I'm going to price them at yet. Some of the tanks I do. The dress, it may be 50 to 75. The first blouse that I showed you, maybe 30 to 35. But honestly, sometimes I price a little bit higher because my thought process is these offers come in, and why should I price low to then get even lower with an offer? So I shoot for the stars with my prices, and sometimes I nail it and sometimes I fall on my face, but that's just part of reselling. So I have quite a few of these XOXO vintage tanks. This one is so beautiful. I just thought with the satin gathered at the top, and then this is almost like a bustier style. It is very sheer, and so I will add that to the keywords. It says it's a large, but large and vintage tanks is all relative. So I always put measurements down. I know some people choose not to put measurements. I choose to because then I have less questions coming in. And so, yeah, so this is adjustable, super cute. I saw some XOXO vintage Y2K tanks selling even for $50 on eBay. So I'm going to price high. I do think that will do very well on Depop. I did sell randomly a loft tank that I got at the bins for 91 cents. Because that's what it evened out for, with the everything was 91 cents when I divided it equally. But it was a black lace tank, and it was a loft tank, and it sold on Depop for $15, which 91 cents to 15. And in Depop world, there's less taken out. So that was a $13.52 profit for me, minus the 91 cents for cost of goods. So that was pretty great. And that was a loft tank. Like, I can't sell loft on eBay or Poshmark to save my life. But, yeah, so you never know. Okay, so this is not a name brand I care about, Worthington, but what I care about, going back to the loft tank, is the style, because it's lace, it's like with the nude underneath, but I think will use, like, say there's like a sheer element to it. It is so beautiful, and it's got kind of a little bit of a cropped thing going on. So I think I'm gonna price this at about $30. See what happens, because I do think it's a little nicer than the loft tank was. This one is a vintage find. I don't know anything about that. But this was such a cool vest. And as a side note, I did end up having to wash every single item. The majority of these were new with tags. But when I got home, I noticed that they had the grandma's basement odor to them. And I have tried to get that smell out after steaming items with like a fabric refresher spray, and I never want to send a buyer an item that has a hint of any kind of odor. I wouldn't want to receive something like that. So I made the executive decision to pull off all the tags. I took a picture so you can see, and it made me sad, but at the same point, I was like, you know what? They need some freshness. So I did that, and I'm so glad that I did, because it took out every bit of odor. So look how super cute this is. It's so cute. And it ties, it hooks in the back. And so I thought this kind of had a Madonna kind of 80s kind of vibe to it. Like, I could have pictured her in that 80s movie. something Susan. Man, my mind is just blank. Anyway, that movie, I could picture her wearing those with some pointy heeled, like black leather boots. All right, the next find is a brand that when I was a teenager or even middle school, I wanted this brand, and it is Gitano. This is vintage, like no joke. It has shoulder pads. It has shoulder pads. And look how cute this is. This is 80s. This is 80s and maybe into the 90s, but super, super cute and very playful and quirky and all of those things. So I'm not sure what I will list this as far as price. I'm guessing somewhere between 30 and 40, but maybe I could do a little more than that. This screams Y2K to me, and my daughter wanted it, but she is too young to be wearing stuff like this. So this has no brand name, and I didn't care. So this is a halter style tank. To me, this is Y2K, very Y2K. So it's padded here, which is super great. Like they were, wherever this was made, they were sewn right in. And then it's got elastic here. It's just so cute. And then, you know, sheer at the bottom, ties at the top. It's very secure tie. So I think I'm gonna try for 30 with this one. And the next one is this an XO one? I can't remember. No, this is 9 West. Again, I don't care about the name brand. I care more about the style. There was a lot of this kind of stuff during that time period with stripes and floral together. This I'll have to tie that, of course, but it was a little bow here. Super cute, zips on the side. So measurements will be absolutely critical with this one because of it zipping on the side, and stretchy ones I'm a little less worried about. Like the last one, I'm a little less worried about measurements than I am with one that zips on the side. Probably 20 to 25 for that one. This one is a Hollister, which is a name brand that can be pretty pricey, mall brand. But this is from the 90s or early 2000s also, and there was a lot of Hollister stuff there that I passed on because I really don't do well with this brand name. But I thought that this was just so cute. Like I could picture this being like a coastal cowgirl look with a pair of ripped jeans or ripped jean shorts and some cowgirl boots, like super cute. So this is very sheer, which I will of course put in the keywords, but look at the back, how cute that is. This is definitely kind of like a going out top in my opinion, but it also is a little beachy, so I will put that in the keywords as well. I'm guessing like somewhere 25 to 30 for that. This is a no-name brand. I did not care again. So this is something that I really feel, I don't think that somebody hand tie-dyed this. Let me know if you agree with me. But I thought it was just so pretty. The colors to go with it, along with, yeah, no, somebody didn't. Okay, because the green lace is green lace throughout. So that would have ended up being tie-dyed with the rest of it. But anyways, so this, I think 20 to 25. This one's adorable. Another XOXO. This is a size smaller. It's a medium. I think this is going to do fantastically well on Depop. This is super stretchy, kind of like a bustier, but I love the colors together. And the satin top, and again, it's got pads sewn into it, which is fantastic because when you're going out and you're trying to wear a bra with something like this, forget it. So, and it's got the adjustable straps, so that is super cute. I'm gonna try for 30 to 35 with this. I might be able to do a little more than that. I think with it being fall right now. Well, we're going into fall. It's September 13th. We're going into fall. I think that that could do really, really well this season versus in spring. We'll see. This one reminded me of Phoebe Buffet, which is why I got it. It's definitely vintage, and I could not see much on this tag, but the brand name didn't matter to me. It was more like the style of dress. And so this really looked like Phoebe Buffet, and so I will put that in the keywords. I might put Rachel or Friends in there too, because I could picture Rachel wearing something like this, but more so Phoebe. And so this is, I would say this is a midi dress, and if I was to estimate size, which I will have to do size based off of measurements, I would say this is probably a 4 or a 6. That would be my guess. But it's so pretty, so maybe 35 to 40. I might be able to do a little more than that. I'm not sure. I've been trying to, when I look up things on eBay, what I've been trying to do is look it up based on style names. And when I do that on eBay and then put like highest to lowest pricing, I can see like what's getting the highest prices, right? And so ones like this are kind of getting more than you would think for a no particular brand name kind of dress, but the style is what matters. So I might be able to do more. This one's kind of fun. XOXO again, and it's a medium, and it's a silver cropped jacket, and it does, I'll have to put this back in, have the belt to go with it. I thought this was super cute. A going out little jacket for sure. I could picture it zipped up or with like a little black tank under it. So I don't know, around 30, maybe even a little bit more. Y2K again, another XOXO. And so this is very sheer, ties in the back, very boho, very, I would even say it's like got a hippie-ish print to it. And so that like V-neck kind of faux wrap front, tie in the back thing, in my opinion, is Y2K. And so 25-ish, I'm guessing. This one is a vintage, I think. The tag definitely looks vintage. But because we are going into fall, and this screamed academia, well, I'll have to button those. This is not a heavy wool, but it is it even wool? I can't even, it says dry clean only. Whoops, I washed it, but didn't shrink. I let it air dry, so I follow directions most of the time. This did not shrink when I washed it, but it did need to be washed, and I am not willing to pay for dry cleaning for something like this. So about 30 maybe. This one, what's nice is when you find plus sizes, I do very well selling plus sizes. And this is another one, just like Gaetano. I used to see Forenza everywhere. And so this is definitely like a maybe early 2000s style. It's a sleeveless, preppy polo collar-ish. Not polo collar, it's just collared, whatever. So it's like a A-line top, maybe 20 to 25. What size was that? It says medium, but I don't know. I think, am I thinking of something else? I might be thinking of something else being plus size. Okay, this wasn't very, very cool. I've never seen this brand name. Harris, and it is a small, it's 100% rayon. It does have shoulder pads, but look at this crop jacket. Look how cool this print is. That's so beautiful. And so I think I'm gonna try close to 40 with this one because it's so unique. It is a smaller size, so it might take a little bit. And if you know, you know that weird and quirky and cool and different sells on eBay. So I think this may do well on eBay. It is vintage. It's very cool jacket. It is a small, but I believe it's oversized. And look at the back. It's very artsy, art to wear. Oh, look at the bottom. I didn't even see that. Can you see it with the hand? How cool. So it does have shoulder pads that are sewn in, and I just think that I will probably start this at like 50 and see how it does. Another jacket that is vintage. Don't know that name brand. This says it is, I can't read that, so I take it back. I don't know what it says. I can't read that. So it's probably a small or a medium, but it's like a military style with the buttons and the patches and this kind of stuff. And then these are folded over and there's a patch there. So maybe about somewhere between 30 and 50, I'm not quite sure. And the last Y2K one that I have to show you right now is this another XOXO, a mini skirt. And I got it, there were a lot of these there, but I only chose one. And the reason being is the other ones I just felt were very, very basic. Whereas like this one with the ruffles, I just went to Hot Topic with my kids yesterday, and this is what was in Hot Topic, was denim or some other kind of fabric skirt with the ruffles. And so I just thought that this was the one to get, plus the pockets in the back are fun. So this says it's a 9-10. I will include measurements for it, and I don't know, maybe around 30 to 35. Okay, moving on to the thrift store finds. There are 2 garage sale finds because yesterday morning I hit up probably one of the last garage sales I will see in my area for a long time, because I live in Buffalo. If you know, it could be snowing by Halloween here. And Halloween's kind of like a toss-up. You either get really nice weather or really awful weather. So anyways, moving on. Speaking of weather that might be changing sooner than later, I found this gorgeous jacket, coat. It's a Ralph Lauren, and to me it looked very minimally used. This is in great shape, and it was $5. And I think I'll have to button that back on. This I am gonna try somewhere between 50 and 75, although I have to, oops, some fuzzies. I have to check comps because I honestly have never sold a Ralph Lauren quilted coat before. So I'll have to do a little more research on that, but for $5, this was definitely worth it. Ralph Lauren does it very, very well for me. So I was happy to find that. Next was a vintage. This was one of the other garage sale ones buried at the bottom, so you'll see that. This was a vintage, and I saw this exact one sold in a smaller size. I can't remember, was it 40? So mine is a plus size, so I'm gonna price it a little higher because I do think that it could do very, very well. And it is a baby fat, and it is jumpsuit. I remember this being one of the brands all the girls were looking for, including myself. So this is a jumpsuit that is sleeveless and it's stretchy here. This is a 4X. And I do need to use the fabric shaver just a little bit in this area, but it ties in the middle, it's adjustable. I just think that this is a super cool vintage find. I think I might start mine somewhere between 50 and 60, maybe even a little more, see how it does. But I paid $8.99 for it. The next one is the first time I have ever found this brand in a thrift store, and I loved the print. I love the style. It's very, very trendy style right now. So, and other stories. It was $8.99. And it is this gorgeous, gorgeous, let me back up a little bit, floral dress. It ties right at the back of the neck. It's got an elastic waist here, and it is somewhat tiered. I just thought that this print was so, so beautiful. I could see somebody wearing cowgirl boots with this. I could see somebody wearing nude heels with this, or black heels. I could see somebody wearing some fancy sandals with this. So there are a lot of ways this could be worn, a lot of different styles, which I will cover all of those in theme words in eBay and tag words in Depop and Poshmark. But I thought this would perform really well, maybe between $40 and $50. And this was the first dress that I found that I put in my cart, and I was so excited to find it. The brand is Missook. I don't know how much this dress was, but it was not inexpensive, I'll tell you that much. And if I do figure out the actual original price of it, I will put it up there. But I spent, where's the tag? There we go. $8.99. It's sheer here, and let me see if I can hold it up. It's collared, it buttons down to the waist, and it's got lining or a slip underneath until about like that mini length area, and then it goes full maxi length with it being sheer. It is an absolutely stunning dress. When I held it up on the hanger, like, me doing it like this does not do it justice. I would guess that this dress was somewhere between $250 and $300, but again, I'll put it up there if I actually do find it, because sometimes what I do is I do like a reverse Google image. So I will take a picture of it and then do a reverse Google image, and then sometimes I'll find that exact dress. So I'm guessing somewhere between $75 and $100 for that. Here's the other garage sale find. So I spent $6 on this. I did do some comps, and they were pretty good. Bills Wear, Buffalo Bills, is one of the best selling things on eBay as far as NFL teams. And so because I live in this area, it's very plentiful, and some people just don't know what it's worth or just don't care, and so they're willing to get rid of it for cheap, which this was the case. She had 2 of these. I picked up 1. So it is a Bills jersey. It is an NFL brand, which is always a plus. And then that is the team member. And so I should be able to sell that right around the $40 mark. This is the second last. No, it's not. It's the second last. Third to last. I spent $6.99 on this sweater. And it is a Vince sweater. It is a medium, and it is a chunky knit, and I loved it because the color is kind of like a periwinkle, and it's just like chunky knit sweaters do very well for me on all of the platforms, and so I was very happy to find this, and I'm guessing it'll sell like $35 to $40. Vince is one of those name brands that's extremely pricey, brand new, and it just doesn't hold its value. So for instance, I sold a pair of Vince jeans, and they were gorgeous, on trend, wide leg jeans. They probably retailed for somewhere between $300 and $400, and they sold for $40. So just to give you an idea, and I'm guessing, yeah, $35 to $40 for that. I found this was so much fun. This was $3, and I have to, this one I'm going to let it soak probably in some OxyClean and then let it air dry, because I don't know how long it's been sitting at the thrift store. but it was in a huge bin of bags, and the colorful design stuck out to me. And so here it is. So cute. These are like, this is like a rug design. Like I remember being, I do remember a lot, just so you know. If you're like, how would you remember that? I just remember random things. I remember my mother sending me into kindergarten for nap time, when they did nap time in kindergarten, and I had a rug that looked just like this that my mother sent in with me. So this kind of had got me a little nostalgic. So I think this could do well, maybe 30 to 40. I'm really not sure. I did see one similar to this sold for $50 on eBay, so maybe I could do a little higher with it. And then there is one more thing that I think I accidentally buried under all of these clothes. Yes, I did. Okay. All right, and the last thing, this was $3 as well. Fry & Company, and it's a leather wallet. And I saw some sold on eBay for $24.99, $27.99. So $3 into 24 is pretty great. And so I was happy to get this, especially since it looked brand new and it was very clean inside. So that was a great find. I hope that you enjoyed this haul. I enjoyed doing this video. If you think I hit the nail on the head with the Y2K things and I found things that are genuinely Y2K, I would love to hear from you. Either way. And I hope to see you in the next video. Have an amazing day. Bye.